Welcome, everyone. It is Sunday, May 1st, 2022, and it is the Morgellons Call of the Week. I'm Robin from Western Mass, a little bit under the weather today. You'll have to excuse my scratchy voice, but I'm still glad to be here and introduce Richard Kuhns, the author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons and Other Skin Parasites. Richard has just released fairly recently the 11th edition of his book. He keeps updating it because more research, more information, more solutions come to light, and more knowledge. And I don't know anyone else who is researching the way Richard does and the way we do and help Richard do that. So I think he is the world's foremost expert on Morgellons and other skin parasites, and I know he has helped me get my life back and multiple times and do better and better at it. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful for being part of a community that is helpful and supportive. And at this time, I'd like to welcome Richard Kuhns.
Thank you, Robin. Welcome, everybody, to Getting Your Life Back from Morgellons and Other Skin Parasites, and even chronic Lyme disease. Our topic today is there a cure for Morgellons? And what do you think, Robin? Is there a cure?
I don't think it's a black and white answer because there are so many cofactors. I mean, I think you could get Morgellons out of your body, but if you have mites or if you're sensitive to springtails or fleas or ticks or any of the things that can carry Morgellons, or if you don't disinfect your environment properly and you open a Pandora's box of Christmas ornaments, it is so easy to get reinfested. I think we do get our life back, but I still think we have to exercise caution. And I don't know if that counts as a cure. I certainly felt like I was cured until I reinfected my house. So, and I'm approaching a place where I feel cured right now.
When you say you reinfected your house, you're referring to the Pandora's box?
Right. I'm referring.
So you briefly tell us you had been free of them, and then
I opened a box of Christmas ornaments which had been enclosed for like 3 years but never disinfected, and these a lot of these organisms can hibernate for 5 or more years. Some of them just, I don't know, never die.
Maybe infinitely.
Yeah, who knows? But so my house became infested with springtails, mites, fleas, bed bugs, and Morgellons. And I didn't even recognize it. All of these at once, I forgot what it was like. So it took months to figure it out. And then by the time I did, I got COVID and was in bed for 3 months. So it's been a long haul this time because I was too sick to deal with it. Although I'm a little sick today, it's not COVID, and I'm much better. My house is doing much better. I'm much better. My skin is better. My diet is moving forward into different stages, and it's all because of your book, Richard, your protocols, and your help. And I'm eternally grateful.
Well, I'm glad that you're here with me and that you're a living testimonial to what can be accomplished. Is there a cure? You know, the paramount and most important thing to do, from my experience and the experience of hundreds of people that I've worked with, is to make the diet work. And I guess about maybe 20 years ago, after I had figured out the diet and actually published the first version on the internet, I wanted to know if the diet would be a cure. Of course, for those of you who are new and those of you who have come back, I just want to remind you that the diet has 3 stages. Stage 1, which is very, very strict. Then there's stage 2, which is wonderful because you get to, even though you only get to add a few foods, it's like wonderful because you feel so much more normal. And then there's stage 3, where I've been at for years. Can eat any darn thing I want, and that's fine. So you might think, well, I wanted to know if I stayed on stage 1 for a long period of time, and I chose 3 months and was totally free of organisms affecting me, no itching, no biting, no lesions, you know. And I thought, okay, it looks like stage 1 is a cure. Now, if I go off of stage 1, will that continue? Well, you know, I didn't even think to ask that question. I just figured, well, I'm just going to go back to eating normally. I'm cured and I'm fine. And I went off of the diet, started eating whatever I wanted, and within, I don't know, 10 to 14 days, I was very disappointed. There was the itching and the biting and all that goes with it. So that told me, well, stage 1, you could consider a cure, although we do not say it's a cure because, you know, who wants to be on stage 1 for the rest of their lives? But it is important to make the diet work and have it kick in. So I'm not making a claim that stage 1 is a cure. I'm simply stating, for me, it basically cured me for that period of time. But then when I went off the diet, well, who wants to be on stage 1 for the rest of their lives? So over the years, I had used some of the medications that are listed in the book that it allowed me to go from stage 1 to stage 2 more easily. These medications have the impact of reducing dopamine uptake in the brain, and I've been on stage 3 for years now and can eat anything I want for a period of time. But if I am, like, say, eating watermelon every night for about 2 or 3 weeks, or eating strawberries every morning with breakfast for 2 or 3 weeks, well, I'm going to have a resurgence. So there is really no cure. And particularly because these organisms are in the environment, I believe, you know, there's no real proof here. I know that the organisms are systemic, and even though we get our lives back, it seems that, based on this experience, that if you go off the diet for an extended period of time, the organisms, are they coming from the environment suddenly, or are they systemically being reactivated from being systemic, that is, internal? So I suspect that they are systemic, and that the good news, the really good news, is that we know how to get our lives back. Well, not so great news, but believe me, it's something we certainly can live with, is that we can be reinfected. So what brought this topic to mind is an email I've gotten from Marge. Marge joined the program about maybe a year or so before COVID took place. And as everybody knows, you're welcome to email me questions. Well, she took advantage of that. Sometimes I get 2 or 3 questions every day, and she wanted to be on the straight and narrow. She wanted to make the program work, and I was there and responded to her questions. And over the course of time, the questions diminished from 2 or 3 a day to maybe 1 or 2 every week. And then she, before COVID hit, she was wanting to go to Hawaii. She was improving, and she was happy. and substantially better off than she was before she joined the program. And she wanted to go to Hawaii and was concerned, going away a week, you're away from your kitchen and the control of your food and making your disinfecting and all that goes with dealing with these parasites. She was very concerned. Well, she went on the trip to Hawaii. It was wonderful. She got, she couldn't believe it. She only had one minor setback from something that she had apparently eaten. And I mean, that was a major accomplishment for her to get that trip of a lifetime to Hawaii. And she never thought in a million years she'd ever be able to do that. So after she came back, communication was occasionally she would send me a website about information she came upon that she thought that I might want to take a look at, because as Robin said in the beginning comments, each of you are my research. You're on my research team. I learn a lot from the things that you find, rather than me spending hours and hours on the internet searching what's coming up. Some of you send in things that you come upon. I look at them, and I often create updates based on the research that you point out. Sometimes you'll send me something that was published 15 years ago. Well, all right, I always look at the publication date, and I recognize it from 10 years ago, for instance. But some information is very good. So I heard very little from her over period of time, and then I got this email from her. Mary, would you read the email?
Yes, it says, "Hi Richard, I thought I was cured. Reintroduced many foods and had a resurgence of black specks that I feel moving in my ears just like back in 2020. Also from my scalp. I have a friend who is a hairstylist who will cut my hair short again. Also black specks from my feet. I had stopped the Lucineron and the Nitin Pyram, but I never stopped the Fenbenzidol. I am sharing this with you to help anyone out there. They may think they are cured, but you have to be careful. I don't understand this disease, but at least I know about the diet and what to do. I guess I can't go back to my life and eat my delicious Italian cooking. Thank you for your time. I share my experience."
Well, this is typical. It happens to me from time to time. As I stated earlier, you're doing real well and you start abusing the diet and eating too much watermelon, or in her case, the Italian food, although I don't see any reason why you can't make delicious Italian food and not stay on the diet. You're using rice bran oil instead of olive oil. Well, all right, so, and you're using rice pasta and things like that. So, anyway, I wrote back and asked her if she had been using the Parasite Stop formula, the herbal formula that we've recently come out with about a year ago. My experience is it's dramatic. It's fantastic. And she wrote back and said, yeah, she had it and she didn't think it worked, but then maybe she didn't use it long enough or whatever. And so afterwards she wrote back again. And would you read her follow-up there?
Yes. It says, "Hi, Richard. Sorry for that fragmented email. I got interrupted. So I'm not even sure what my affliction is. I never know what the black specks are. I will try your Parasite Stop supplement. I have it here. I tried it and didn't think it was doing anything, but that was probably silly of me. I probably should have taken it longer. I'll keep you updated just in case you want to share my experiences with anyone. I think when people get reinfested or reactivated, they get discouraged. And it's a constant battle. They shouldn't get discouraged. Just keep on fighting. I am so much better than I was in 2020. And I thank God I'm not where I was once, even though I'm not where I'd like to be. I'm not sure if we ever really get rid of this or if we put it into remission as soon as I or if we put it into remission. As soon as I go off the diet, I really pay for it. But I will admit I went way, way off the diet because I thought I was cured, and now it is quite clear that I was not cured.
Amen. It's so easy to get to a point. I mean, I know there are many of you out there saying, oh, I hope that could happen to me. I just wish. But hey, this is run of the mill. This is what happens. You get in the program, you make the diet work, and this is going to be the result. You're going to be human again. You're going to be getting to the point where you're going to be you're going to remember that you used to have the problem of itching and biting and getting up at 3 a.m., but you're going to forget what it felt like. And as Robin mentioned earlier, she had gotten reinfected but forgot what it felt like. And before she knew it, they were overrunning. It only takes a few days of you not paying attention to what's going on before they can really become, rampant. So none of us really know what's going on with these things. We talked about the cofactors that are involved, and but here's another thing: the parasite stop formula. It's an herbal formula, and I highly recommend it because my latest experience was about going back about 4 or 5 months ago. From eating too many strawberries on a continuous basis, a few every morning with oatmeal or with cereal or with pancakes or whatever, I had gotten reactivated with the columbella and was dealing with it, using the skin lotion and things like that and disinfecting and progressing. And I continued being on stage 3 of the diet. And I was thinking about going back to stage 1, but then I thought, well, let me take this parasite stop formula. I had never a reason to do it before. It's been out over a year and a half, and I never had a reason to use it. Barbara, our herbalist, and myself, we came up with the concept. She did the research of the different herbs and put it together. And I started taking it, and son of a gun, the activity just went to zero. I started at 3 capsules a day. You can go up to 6, and the activity went to zero. And I was continuing to disinfect, and I figured, okay, I'm cured. So I stopped the parasite stop formula. I stopped taking it, and 3 or 4 days later, I noticed activity again, and it wasn't long before my little brain said, hey, maybe this stuff is something that I need to be doing on a continual basis because, I got to stage 3 not with the parasite stop formula years ago, but by using Primazine, the ORAP. It diminishes uptake in the brain too. It's one of several medications that are listed in the book that I contribute this. And I had been on ORAP for a couple of years, and gradually came off, and then was surprised to find that I was great. I could do stage 3, and again, if I ate too much watermelon and caught it early or something like that, it was just a little blip. Or if I went outside and got infested from the grass somewhere or whatever, it was just a little blip. I'd take care of it, and life would go on. So it seems to me that the parasite stop formula for me is going to be a necessity for a period of time. I'm down to 1 a day. If I go to 1.5 days, I'll start noticing a little activity. So it's going to be a part of my life for a while. So is it a cure? I don't know. I would never claim that it's a cure, but realize there are people who are never affected by these organisms. Never, ever affected by these organisms. And this formula has me to the point that I am not affected by the organisms. So is it like something that you can take every day and be like a normal person? What do you think, Robin? Maybe?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean, I think that because we are affected, you know, we can be in a situation that we weren't aware of where we might get affected. So I think there still has to be some caution, but pretty much.
Oh, absolutely. Because if we get exposed to these organisms, whether it be in the rose bushes or by another bird's nest or something, or a rat nest or something like that, of course, I think we would be impacted. Now, Mary, you've been doing things with pheromones, and from another point of view. So, what is your experience with the pheromones? Because this has been a theory of mine all along. It's that what makes us targets for these organisms is that our pheromones are a bit different than those who are unaffected.
Yeah, the pheromones work great. With the parasite stop that I'm taking now, I don't need to put the pheromone oil on my body anymore, but I still burn it in the essential oil burner, and it works really great. It's like it keeps the springtails and the mites from being able to communicate with each other. Recently I talked to a exterminator who told me that all the insects, that's how they communicate with one another, is through pheromones, and that's how ants, when they come in your house, they'll follow a trail. And in the beginning, you'll only see one or two, and what they're doing is they're laying down pheromones as they go so that the rest of the ant population can follow their way in. So the pheromones are really important, and stopping them from, the springtails from jumping around, and the mites, and communicating with one another, it seems to put them kind of in remission in the house, as well as the parasite stops doing that for my body.
Yeah, but will it impact Morgellons?
No, I don't think so.
We don't really know. But yes, Robin.
Well, it'll impact Morgellons if they are vectors and they keep reinfesting you.
Oh, true. So if in that sense, yes. So we may be onto something here. We don't know. Like this is really exciting after being here 20 years and dealing with this and studying and learning more and more. This is really exciting to look at pheromones and have an herbal formula that seems to be really doing something. Now, will it have a great impact on Morgellons? I don't know. This is kind of like we're in the infancy stage. But what I do know is that basically 90% of us who are dealing with Morgellons are also dealing with these cofactors, columbella, and mites. And if we can put those guys under control and put them in the back room somewhere so they don't bother us, well, that alone is a tremendous achievement, So, okay.
I have a question. So what are you using for pheromones? Where do you get pheromones?
You can get them on the internet, and what I've been using is from a company called True Pheromones, and they have pheromones. A lot of them are sold for sexual attraction, but different pheromones are for different things. Like you can wear pheromones that make people trust you more or want to talk to you more. But the True Pheromone Company, they have a bath and oil, an oil that goes in the bath. And what it is it's pheromones, some general pheromones, and some essential oils. And it doesn't have any scent to it, which is great for me because I'm allergic to all these fragrances. And I put it in the burner because all it is pheromones and essential oils, and it makes a huge difference. It's really amazing. And it's called True Pheromones. If I can find the bottle, it's spelled like P-H-E-R-E-M-O-N-E-S.
Yeah, if you would get me that information. I think you had several months ago, but if you could get it to me again, I would like to get in touch with the company, and perhaps we can offer them in our store as well.
Yes, I know they offer the opportunity to buy it in bulk.
Okay,
so
great.
That's really great.
Wonderful. So it looks like we're on the verge of putting together something good here. All right. Does anybody have any questions in the beginning about this segment? While Chris is looking up anybody, I'm going to just go quickly through the FDA regulations because I don't want anybody to misconstrue this program. The FDA, yes, Robin.
I just had one thing I wanted to add. As you get better, like I'm thinking about visiting my kids and my grandkids, and I just ordered a camping cot, which folds up into a little suitcase with a camping pad that is totally washable. It's almost like it has a plastic cover, and that with a silk sleeping bag liner, I feel like I would be fairly safe. Not for me, but for people around me, any place I wanted to sleep over. So,
okay, great. Mm-hmm. So the FDA requires me to inform everybody on the call that we are not medical doctors and are trained medically. Before you accept any of the recommendations that we provide or have discussed in this program, that you thoroughly discuss them with your doctor. That is, before you start even before you start the King diet. You discuss it with your doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. The AMA and the FDA also require me to inform everybody that we are not medically trained, and therefore we're not allowed to diagnose, treat, cure, or mitigate any skin disease or any kind of skin disease. What we can do is we can educate you how to use the King diet to your benefit and how to make it work. We can educate you how to clean your environment, how to clean your skin, and the targeted supplements, the Herbal Stop formula we discussed earlier that can help build immune functioning, health, and health, right, and vitality. That's what we're allowed to do. So do we have anybody who has any questions about this topic, Chris?
Oh, Richard, I also like to mention, if you're not using the Parasite Stop and you want to try the pheromones, the bath oil and massage oil, you can put that on your body after a bath, and it has no scent, and it lasts for days, and it also really helps with the biting.
How can I help you? What question do you have?
On mixing the soap to spray on yourself and leave it on you, I think I've got a 10-ounce bottle. And if I use distilled water, would that be better? Because everything around here is fluoride.
What do you want to dilute the concentrate? Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Okay, you can use distilled water, or you can get something like, Poland Springs water, bottled water like that, and you can dilute it with that. Generally, 1 part concentrate to 64 parts of water if you're using the 100%.
Okay.
Do you have any question about the topic of Morgellons cure?
Oh, yeah. If you can find one. If you talk to a doctor, they look at you like you're crazy. They don't believe it.
Well,
I wish one of them would catch it.
That was my wish for a long time. Some have. A doctor friend of mine caught it, but he was only one, and he used the diet and got rid of it. He and his girlfriend both had it, and it was amazing. And I asked him if he would be on our board, our medical board, and actually see patients, and he refused. He would not have a Morgellons person or anybody suffering from skin parasites come to his office waiting room because of the possibility of them getting contaminated with it. He learned to appreciate the fact that it's highly contagious, contrary to what other people may say. So yes, one doctor did get it. Wasn't the one I hoped would get it, but he did get it and got rid of it with our program.
To determine what I had, I sent him pictures and everything. He diagnosed. Then I went looking for you.
Okay. So he was an actual medical doctor, and he diagnosed you as having Morgellons?
Yes. And the only way I can get in touch with him is through Teledoc.
Uh-huh.
And he even called in a prescription to help me.
Okay. That's good. It's rare that you find a doctor that actually acknowledges that you may have Morgellons. There is no clinical diagnosis for Morgellons other than it being a delusional thing at this point. But it's rare that you do find somebody, and even rare that you would find anybody that would actually know what to do about it. What you should be eating and how you disinfect and all the different things that are important to do to get our lives back.